If you just lost your girl and you're trying to get her back, don't do it. And I'm going to explain to you why. It is a losing battle. If you just lost your girl, if you just got out of a long term relationship, there is no reason as to why you should try to win her back. As a matter of fact, you trying to win her back is only going to deter her away from you. And let me explain why that is. A lot of you guys may have not heard of what is called the dumper's high. When someone breaks up with someone else, and typically this kind of falls into the woman leaving the man, you, the last thing you want to do is to try to convince that person to get back with you. First and foremost, the first thing that should come to your head is just the self respect aspect. You should have enough self respect to not want to beg or ask to get someone back that has already made the decision to leave you. Because the first thing that should pop up into your head when doing so, or even thinking of doing something crazy like that, is the fact that they think that they are going to be better off without you. You aren't even the second option. You are no option. That should be the first thing that pops up into your head. But to get back on track of what I was talking about, a dumper's high. So when you beg a woman to be with her again after she left you, she is going to be validated in the fact that she made the right choice, that you are beneath her, and that you have no value not only to yourself but to her. These are the reasons that these are the reasons that you don't want to engage in such a fruitless effort. You are going to embarrass yourself. You are going to make her feel validated in the decision that she made of leaving you. You don't want to put yourself in that position. And I see all too often men making fools of themselves trying to get people back. I'm sure a lot of us have been there at one point in time. I hope a lot of you men have learned, but you don't want to be in that position to think, this person left me. Let me try to convince them that I am the right choice for them. I understand the reasons behind that. You want that future that you planned out with that woman, but it's not worth it. You don't want to embarrass yourself. You want to be with someone who wants to be with you. We've all been in that situation to where the person that we cared for at one point in time have left us, and we just felt alone. We felt the pain at night and all these other things, just a little bit of vulnerability there. I've been through that myself a few years back with one of my exes. But you get over that and you learn from it. You don't go through the same thing again. And for our first timers, for the people who are just now probably going through something similar, I'm going to tell you, I just want to stop you from making that same mistake for yourself. There is no accountability that is going to be had. You're going to make a fool of yourself. You're going to validate this person who has left you and thinking that they made the right choice in doing so, leaving you with all the pain. They can care less about you. And the reason is because you are trying to convince a person who has already left you, a person who thinks that their life is going to be so much better without you, that they should still be with you for some particular reason. The reason that a person should want to be with you is because that's just it. It's because that they want to be with you. If a person decides to not want to be with you, you should have no desire to be with that person. And I know it's like easier said than done to like actually have that kind of mindset, but once you actually go through it, you will understand that you don't want to be in such a bad position. You want to elevate yourself, if anything. And I promise you, once you do, that person does come back eventually. But even then, if you were to get successful, if you were to work on yourself, I promise you that person will come back to you again. But even if they did, you don't want them back. They should have been with you when you were not at such a high tier. You want to be with a person who is going to be there when you build yourself up to your highest degree. It's not a person who wants to be there at the finish line. And most women wait for men at the finish line. That's just how they are. I'm not saying that's a bad thing to, that's just kind of how they're wired. I'm not saying that's a bad thing to, bad way to be. I believe it's in their nature. But if it's a person who you were with initially and they leave you just to come back when you're just a bit up, no, leave them broke. They broke up with you. Now they're broke and you're up. That's how it should be. Don't put yourself in a position to be embarrassed. It's never going to work out. It's never going to be the same. You need to spare yourself your feelings and your life of people who will put you in such precarious positions and situations, because that's not what love is. That's not the love that you want. You want to be with someone who actually values you as you are now, as you're building yourself up. If you're a person who's complacent, you're not actually working on yourself, and you're stagnant in life, you're okay with being a bottom tier person, one of these Dorito eating motherfuckers, as I always say, then I can't really feel sorry for you. But if you're a person who's actually working on their purpose, who's actually grinding to be something better than what they are today, then you have all the respect. But have your own self-respect. If someone leaves you in the process of you leveling your life up, which I hope most of you are, don't take them back. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to end well. There is no point in putting yourself in a position to just be someone's fucking financial ATM eventually one day. A lot of men want to be a provider. A lot of men want to be in a position to take care of their woman, which I admire, because that's the position I myself want to be in. But don't put yourself in a position to be used. Put yourself in a position to be valued. That's what you want. You don't want a person who left you for whatever goofy reason it may have been. I'm not really sure. It could have been something valid. If it was, like I said before, if you were a person who was just stagnant, who was fine with being bottom tier, who was fine with not elevating their life, then that's on you. But if you were a person focusing on your purpose, focusing on elevating your finances, focusing on your business, focusing on having a better life and becoming a better man, and they leave you in the process, don't take them back. That will be the worst thing you will ever do as a man. One of the most important things, one of the most important decisions that you can make as a man is choosing the right woman to stand by your side, because the right woman is going to build you up. They're not going to tear you down. They're going to be there as you're building the empire that you want to support your life and hers. Eventually, your lineage, your kids, your grandkids, people who come after you. But most importantly, the people who stand by you. If a person does not stand by you in those moments where, in those grueling times where you're building yourself up, when you're putting in the work like an animal, then they don't deserve to reap the benefits. Unless, of course, you meet them later on. But even then, you're still working on yourself and they're still standing by you as you're accumulating more, as you're building more. You don't want to be with the person who thought, I could have made it, I could have had a better life if I leave this person now. And then they see the results of your efforts. Look, I've been there myself. I remember 3 years ago, I was with a woman myself, and I will admit I was kind of stagnant in life. I wasn't really making a lot of plays. I wasn't trying to elevate myself to my fullest potential, to my fullest extent. But as soon as I started to, that's when she saw my value. But I still didn't see the value in her. I didn't see the value in her anymore. There was no value to be had. There was nothing to miss. When something ends, when something ends with someone who used to be special to you, especially horribly, you don't want to go back. Continue to build yourself up. The best advice, some of the best advice I can give you is something I've heard a long time ago, and I'm sure you all have as well. It's something that's said pretty often. But the greatest thing that you can do after a breakup is to live a great life. You want to be a person who actually works on themselves, who actually makes themselves better, who actually elevates their mind, their body, their spirit, their finances, your life as a whole. That is what you want to do. That's the best revenge. Don't think about that person. Don't check back on that person. There's nothing to look back at. Those memories now mean nothing. I'm sure you had a great time. I'm sure like I'm sure the memories were great. I'm sure the moments were great. But now you need to focus on what's actually coming, what's actually happening in the now, what's actually going to come in the future. It's no longer that dream that you sought out with this woman. You need to rise above what used to be and elevate yourself. I know you got it within you. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll still be here. Message me on Instagram if you want to consult a call with me on how to elevate your life even further, on how to build up your finances, on how to personal brand yourself. We can elevate your life together.